This is a story about one of the best professional experiences I've ever had. And it relates to the multidisciplinary aspect of what Boston Law Collaborative does. It was a mediation. It took 2 days, and it involved 3 mediators. Now, I've mostly mediated by myself, but occasionally with a co-mediator. This is the first and only case where we had 3 mediators, but we needed it. It was a family trust that was about to dissolve. There were 20 current beneficiaries and about 100 contingent beneficiaries. And there were 5 branches of the family. And they were in deep tension with each other because the trust was about to dissolve. And there were questions about what to do with the property. There was land, there was stock, there were bonds, there were financial issues, there were emotional, family dynamics issues, there were legal issues. And so we made a proposal. This family invited us to propose how we might help them. And so we proposed a mediation where I would be one of the mediators. Our psychologist, Richard Wallman, would be one of the mediators. Our financial professional, Susan Miller, would be one of the mediators. And we had conference calls. We created a website, a confidential, password-protected website where they could submit various ideas, proposals. So we teed up the 2-day mediation with a lot of preparation. But it was an intense 2 days. We had people flying in from California and from England, and driving up from New York and flying in from other parts of the country. And for me, this was a hugely valuable learning experience as I watched Richard and Susan bring their differing perspectives to bear on this complex problem. And it felt so wonderful to be able to be a resource for this family in this very broad, multidisciplinary way. And at one point on the second day of mediation, I had a separate meeting with one of the groups, a group that wanted to keep the land, and talked with them about the meaning of this land to them. They were concerned that if they kept the land, they would be giving up too much value. There was a struggle with the finances. And I asked them, I said, this is a place where you've spent summers with your kids, with your parents, with your grandparents. This land has a lot of memories for you. That's my understanding. And they said yes. And I said, you know, there's a place on Cape Cod, in Truro, that has the same kind of meaning for me. My parents first took me there when I was 10 years old, and I've been going there for more than 20 years with my kids. And that little piece of sand on the bay in Truro is my concept of summer. It's my kids' concept of summer. And if someone said that I could buy that piece of sand for such and such a price, or this other piece somewhere else on the Cape for a bit less, it wouldn't be a hard decision, because it's not about the money, it's about the meaning and value that it has in our life as a family. And I sense that that's something like what you experience when you think about this place where you've spent so many summers together. And I saw the heads nod. Some of the folks there got a little tearful as they thought about their family members. And I got a little tearful when I thought about, you know, my family. And we connected in that moment in a way that enabled them to get over the hump of this financial disagreement and recognize that there was something much bigger at stake for them than the money. And in that moment, and then we went on to settle the case. But it was in that moment that I realized what our work really can be at a very deep level. It can be not only that connection with other people that's very profound, but helping them find the connection with what is meaningful in their lives. And a multidisciplinary practice enables us to get to that in a way that is very enriching, not just for the folks we work with, but for the practitioners.